Today we are going to discuss about one of the very vital part of chemical bonding, that is hybridization. In this hybridization part we will discuss about orbital shape, sigma and pi bond, primary idea of hybridization and list of molecular shape depending on the hybridization. Actually, to understand hybridization properly or very easily, the basic concept, we have to clear up some basic concept. Those basic concept depends on orbital shape. First of all, let me start with orbital shape. Atomic orbital shape of s orbital. What is the shape of the s orbital? We all know that orbitals, mainly s orbital, p orbital, d and f orbitals are there. We are going to show you what will be the shape of s orbital. S orbital is actually spherical shape. S orbital having spherical shape. Spherical shape means football like shape. That means three axis is there, three x axis, let we consider it is y axis and it is z axis, and it will be surrounded equally, distributed equally along three axes. So we can say it is symmetrical. It is symmetrical orbital along three axes. So it is spherical in nature and it is symmetrical along three axes. It is called which is s orbital. Now moving to the another orbital, that is p orbital. P orbital. Now what is the shape of the p orbital? Actually, p orbital having lobes. It's having lobes. The shape we can say dumbbell like shape. What is the type of the shape? Let's see. P is the three-fold degenerate orbital. Threefold degenerate or triply degenerate orbital. That means here we can see three different orbital. Those are px. What is px? If we consider three axes, this is it is x axis. So along the axis, this type of axis, this is x axis, it is px. If it is py, that means the lobes will be along the y axis. If we consider it is y axis, it will be y axis. So along the y axis it is py, and if it is along the z axis, it becomes pz. That means all are, that means if it is z axis, obviously that means if this type of axis is there, so obviously it is z axis. If it is this type of axis, that means if you consider it is x axis, if the lobe is like this, it will be x axis, and if it is the this is the axis, and if you consider it is y axis and the lobe is along this axis, it will be py axis. So px, py, pz, the three axes, I mean probability of finding of electron is equally that along the x axis, along the y axis, and the z axis. So it's we can say it is the threefold degenerate orbital or triply degenerate orbital. So these are the orbitals of p orbitals. Now moving to the next orbital, that is d orbital. D orbital. Now for d orbital, first the thing we have to remember that it is 5-fold degenerate orbital. 5-fold degenerate orbital. What are the 5 folds are the orbitals are there? Here the 5 orbitals are dxy, dyz, dzx, then dx square y square and dz square. These are the 5 orbitals associated with d orbitals. So it is that's why it is known as 5-fold degenerate orbitals. Now the thing is that these 3 orbitals, here also it is actually, we can say, double dumbbell shape. The shape is like p orbital, but in case of p orbital, single lobe was there. It is single lobes were there, but here it is double lobe is associated over here. But mind that whenever it is we are thinking about dxy, dyz, dzx, here the lobes are in between 2 axes. Which axis? Whatever the alphabets are written over here, that means xy. That means here the lobes will be in between x and y. So how we can picturize this? Let's see. If it is dxy, if we consider it is x-axis and it is y-axis, the lobes will be like this. It is dxy. Whenever it is yz, obviously only axis will be changed. That means it will be, one will be y-axis, another will be z-axis. Let we consider it is y-axis, it is z-axis, and thing is same, identical with the dxy. That means lobes will be in between the axis. And if we consider dzx, obviously same thing. Here the axis will be changed. That means if we consider it is x-axis, it is z-axis. So it will be like this. That means it will be it is called dxy, it is dzx, xyz and gxz. Mind that we have to remember that whenever we are denoting xy, the axis should be mentioned clearly. Which axis is x and which axis is y. Here it is yz and here it will be zx. So these are the 3 orbitals, d orbitals I have drawn. But mind that another thing we have to remember that these are the non-axial d orbitals. Non-axial d orbitals. This set is known as T2G set. Non-axial. We have to remember that it is very helpful for further movement. That means other chapters are there where we require this concept. Otherwise it is very difficult to understand in that case. So whatever we have, I think it's clear to all of us, the orbital shape. Now moving to the another 2 orbitals, dx square y square. So what is dx square y square? Actually it also having 2 lobes, but mind that earlier I have shown you, that means lobes are lobes present in between the axis, but here along the axis. That means x-axis, it is y-axis because x and y is denoted, and the lobes are along the axis. Along the axis. So this is the difference. It is in between the axis, it is along the axis. And dz square, the last one is, it is z-axis and axial, it will be like this. That means the orientation will be like this, the lobes along the z-axis and a circle will be there. So it is dz square. Here we have to remember that also. That means these two are called axial orbital, axial d orbital. This is also known EG set. We have to remember this name also. So this is known as EG set. So hope that is clear to all of us. So these are the orbital shapes we have discussed over here. Now moving to the next part, next segment over here. that means sigma bond and pi bond. What is the meaning of sigma bond and pi bond? Now sigma bond and pi bond, actually we can say it is one of the categories or types of the covalent bond. We all know that covalent bond is formed by sharing of electron, but here because we have considered it is the orbital, or we have considered the orbital, so there is no question of sharing. There is the question of, there will be the, that means bonding will be affected by the overlapping of the lobes. What about the lobes we have shown? That means these are the lobes distribution. That means electrons are distributed like cloud along the nucleus. So there is no question of sharing of electron. If the electrons are particle, then only there is a consideration of what we can say, that means sharing. But here we cannot consider the sharing. Here the overlapping will be there. So now we are going to discuss about sigma bond, sigma and pi bond. What is sigma and pi bond? Now first of all, sigma bond, in short form we can say head on overlap, and pi bond in short form we can say side on overlap of orbital. Let me think of sigma bond. If we consider two atoms, are going to overlap with each other, that means they are going to covalent bond with each other. Now whenever, how covalent bond will happen? Obviously whenever its lobe, that means its orbital, when overlap its orbital, that means A orbital, whenever overlap B orbital, then only covalent bond will happen. Now how the overlap can be happen? Overlap can be happen head on or side on. Now let me consider, it will be very much easy to consider. So let me consider px of A and px of B are going to overlap with each other. How? Let's see. Px means this is x-axis and x-axis, both axes will be identical because it is x-axis, it is also x-axis. So x-axis is there. Now this is the lobe of A, this is the lobe of B. Now if they approach with each other, then the collision, that means collision will be head on. That means if the resultant will be, what will be the resultant? The resultant will be like this, and another lobe is like this. So they are the overlap region. This is the overlap region, and overlapped region, this is overlap region, which is called sigma bond. So which is called sigma bond. Now if we consider our pi bond, how the pi bond is happening over here? Now pi bond, in case of pi bond, let me consider this is py of A and py of B. Let me consider. So py, that means y, and this y is approaching towards each other. It is y-axis. So how the overlap will be done? Overlap will be done like this way. Okay, hope that we have understood this one. So this is the overlap region, and whenever the overlap is like this way, that means sidewise overlap. Whenever head on overlap, it will be like this. Whenever sidewise overlap is there, it is like this. So it will be pi bond. So it is pi bond, it is sigma bond. We can say it is px sigma bond, and it is py pi bond. It does not mean, another thing I have to discuss over here, it does not mean that X always show the sigma bond and Y always show the pi bond. I cannot say like this. That means it is not the true. That means X axis can show the sigma bond as well as pi bond also. Y also can show the sigma bond as well as pi bond. So you should not stick into the concept that means only X axis can show the sigma bond, pi axis, Y axis cannot show the sigma bond, only pi bond. Not like that. That means each axis can show sigma bond as well as pi bond. But one thing we have to remember, that whenever any atom's orbital, one axis is involving into sigma bond, other axis cannot show the same type of bond. That means sigma bond cannot be shown further. That means if we consider, let me consider one more thing. Let me consider these are the two. Let me consider these are the two axes. That means X axis, it is the red pens are X axis. Let me consider now, and my two fingers, these are the two fingers are to another. These are the two fingers, and this is the. Let me consider these two pens, two red pens are X axis. Whenever they are overlapping like this way, that means sigma bond is going on. That means sigma bond is going on along the X axis. But if we consider my two finger, that means two Y axis is there, they are coming together toward each other sidewise. That means it is pi bond. That means whenever one is involved in the sigma bond, other cannot show the sigma bond. The other must be involved into the pi bond. So we have to remember that whenever one atom is involved, any axis is involved into sigma bond, other axis cannot show the sigma bond with the same other member. So this is the thing we have to remember that. So this is, I hope that we have cleared it up, sigma bond and pi bond. Now moving to the one more